In one of the previous video, we have created post JPA entity, right? In this video, we will create comment JPA entity and we will establish one-to-many relationship between post and comments. One post can have multiple comments and multiple comments belong to one post. Okay, great. Now let's take a look into the database tables ER diagram for this relationship. So look at here, this is the ER diagram for one-to-many relationship between posts and comments table. Posts table has a columns ID, content, description and title. Comments table has columns such as ID, body, email name and post underscore ID. So posts table has a primary key called ID, and in one-to-many relationship, the primary key of posts table becomes a foreign key in comments table. So remember, the primary key of posts table becomes a foreign key in comments table. Hence, this is a one-to-many relationship. And we are going to use a JPA annotations such as one-to-many and many-to-one annotation to establish one-to-many relationship between these two entities. Alright, let's go to IntelliJ IDEA and let's create comment JPA entity, and then we will establish one-to-many relationship between these two entities by using JPA annotations. In our project, go to the entity package, right click on entity package, new one, then choose class. Let's give class name as comment. Now we need to decide what are the fields we need to add in a comment domain entity. So look at here, this is a comment page, and in typical websites, like especially blog website, has a comment section like this. So we need to provide a name, email and message, and then we will submit the comment. So in our blog application, we are going to use this kind of comment. So we use name, email and body as a fields in a comment domain entity. Alright, go to the class again, and here we need to create instance variables. Let's first create private long ID and then private string name, private string email, and then private string message body. Perfect. Now we're gonna use a Lombok connotations in order to avoid a boilerplate code such as generating getters, setters, constructors, toString, hash code equals method, etc. So let's use add data annotation. Let's add one more annotation, that is all argument constructor annotation to this class. Let's add one more annotation, that is no argument constructor annotation to comment class. Now we want to make this class as a JPA entity. For that, we're going to use a JPA annotation, that is @entity annotation. So use @entity annotation to make this class as a JPA entity. So let's go ahead and let's use @table annotation to provide a table information, like we provide a name to the table like comments, and here you can specify different parameters, like you can specify unique key by using unique constants attribute, and you can also specify schema. Okay, as of now we just specify name for the table. Let's use @id annotation to define a primary key, and also we need to define the primary key generation strategy. For that, let's use @generated value annotation and then use strategy attribute and just define generation type as identity. Perfect. Now we can use @column annotation to provide a column name or map a column name to this field. If we don't specify @column annotation for this field, then JPA will by default consider a column name as a name of the field. Okay, and name, email, body, so these are the fields we can field names we can use as a column names. So let's ignore @column annotation. Now we have created a plain comment JPA entity. Now we need to establish one-to-many relationship between post and comments. Here we just need to create post instance, and then on top of post instance we need to add annotation called @many-to-one annotation. So basically we are going to establish a bidirectional relationship between post and comment. Many means comments and one means post. So one post have multiple comments, or multiple comments belongs to one post. Okay, great. Let's also specify the fetch type. The fetch type is lazy. Now we want to add a join column annotation here. So we use @join column annotation to specify foreign key, and the foreign key column is post_id. For example, so look at here, we need to add post_id as a foreign key in comments table. So we use @join column annotation to provide a foreign key column in comments table. Alright, great. And also we'll make this column as a not null. For that, let's make null label equal to false. That's it. Now let's move to post entity. Within a post entity, we'll create set of comments. So I'm using set here instead of list, because list allows the duplicates and set does not allow duplicates. So we need to maintain a unique comments, right? A reference variable is comments, and then new has set. As this is the bidirectional mapping, so let's also use a one-to-many map annotation here and specify mapped by attribute, and this is a post. So in bidirectional mapping, basically we maintain a owning relationship. In our case, post is the owning relationship, so we need to use a mapped by attribute to mention a owning relationship to the Hibernate, and this post is present in comment entity. Here this post we need to specify in mapped by attribute. Now also specify the cascade type all. So here we are mentioning cascade type all, because whenever we save the parent, along with that its child also get saved, and if we do remove parent, then along with that child also gets removed. So whenever we do some operation with parent, this applicable to all its childs, hence we need to provide all here. You can specify a particular operation like persist or remove, but I am going to specify all here, and let's specify orphan remove equal to true. Whenever we remove parent, along with that its child also we need to remove, right? That's it. It's pretty simple, isn't it? Now let me quickly recap what we have done. We have created a comment JPA entity, and we have added instance variables like ID, name, email, and body, and we have used Lombok annotation to remove boilerplate code, and we have added JPA annotations here to make this class as a JPA entity, and we have established one-to-many bidirectional mapping between post and comments, and we have added many-to-one annotation inside a comment on post object, and in post entity we have used one-to-many annotation here to map one post belongs to multiple comments, and we have also specified here mapped by, because post entity is owning relationship in our bidirectional relationship. It's pretty simple. Now let's restart the Spring Boot application and let's verify whether these two tables will create in MySQL database or not. Our Spring Boot application is up and running on Tomcat on port 8080. Let's head over to MySQL Workbench and refresh the schemas, and here we go. Inside a tables we can able to see comments and posts. Let me quickly see the both tables. So post has columns like ID, content, description and title. Let's verify comments table, ID, body, email name and post underscore ID. So post underscore ID is a foreign key in comments table. Alright, great. Now we have successfully created comments table and the one-to-many relationship between post and comments. In next video we will create a JPA repository for comment JPA entity.